How teens feel when recognizing their sexual orientation, understanding mental health issues of LGBTQ youth. Hello, parents, and welcome back to our podcast channel. In the journey of raising children, puberty is perhaps one of the most challenging yet profoundly meaningful stages. This is when your child begins to experience significant changes, both physically and psychologically, and starts to explore a crucial part of their identity, their sexual orientation. Today, we'll dive into a topic that may feel new or confusing for many parents: the journey of a child recognizing their sexual orientation. The emotions they go through, and the psychological burdens that youth in the LGBTQ community, those with diverse sexual orientations, may face. Before we delve deeper, let's outline the key points of today's discussion. First, recognizing and accepting one's sexual orientation is a natural process that can take time and sometimes stir feelings of anxiety or confusion in your child, which is entirely normal. Second, young people in the LGBTQ community face greater mental health challenges and pressures compared to their peers. Not because of who they are, but due to societal stigma and lack of acceptance. Finally, and most importantly, your understanding and support as a family are the golden key to helping your child overcome difficulties and live happily and authentically as themselves. Now, let's begin this journey of understanding your child. When do they start to realize? Many parents may wonder how this process unfolds and when their child first begins to have these feelings. In reality, the initial stirrings of attraction can happen quite early. Some young people recall feeling special affection for a same-gender friend as early as elementary school. For them, these feelings are as pure and natural as those of their peers who develop crushes on someone of the opposite gender. However, the most prominent phase is during puberty. This is when feelings of attraction, love, and sexuality become more intense. Some teens quickly recognize their sexual orientation, while others may feel confused. They might sense that they're different from their peers but struggle to pinpoint exactly what that means. This process of self-awareness and acceptance can take years. During this complex phase, some teens may experiment with different emotional or sexual experiences to better understand themselves. It's critical for parents to understand that these experiences don't define their child's identity. They're simply part of the journey of self-discovery. It's also important to note that outward traits, like a girl who is tomboyish and prefers masculine clothing, do not determine her sexual orientation. These are merely expressions of personal style and preferences. The emotional turmoil within. What is your child's inner world like as they begin to recognize their sexual orientation? Especially if they identify as gay, lesbian, bisexual, or another identity within the LGBTQ spectrum? This is a significant question that every parent should pause to reflect on. Teens' reactions vary widely. Some feel relieved and at ease when they finally understand themselves, while others experience confusion, anxiety, fear, or even struggle to accept this truth. All of these conflicting emotions are perfectly normal. On top of the typical stresses of adolescence, school, friendships, and family relationships, LGBTQ youth often face a unique set of questions and fears. They may worry: should I come out? Who should I tell first? Will people bully or reject me? Will my parents be disappointed, angry, or disown me? Imagine your child going to school each day, listening to friends talk about their crushes on the opposite gender while pretending to feel the same way. They hide their true self and emotions just to fit in. This is exhausting and profoundly lonely. The fear of judgment and prejudice can lead them to build emotional walls, hesitant to share with even those closest to them. The process of coming out, courageously sharing their sexual orientation, requires immense bravery. When your child decides to open up, what they need most is your support. A hug or a simple, "We will always love you," can be a powerful source of strength. helping them feel safe and happier than ever. Invisible burdens and mental health. The worries and pressures we've discussed are not fleeting emotions. They can deeply impact your child's mental health. It's time to face a sobering reality. LGBTQ youth are at a significantly higher risk of mental health challenges compared to their heterosexual peers. Numerous global studies confirm this. For instance, a study from the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention found that gay and bisexual youth are nearly 3 times more likely to have suicidal thoughts than their heterosexual peers. Another survey revealed that nearly 40% of LGBTQ youth have seriously considered suicide. In Vietnam, reports paint a similar picture, showing that LGBTQ individuals face a high rate of psychological difficulties due to stigma and violence in families, schools, and society. What's the root cause? Studies consistently point to one answer. It's not about who these young people are, but how society treats them. Stigma, discrimination, family rejection, and unsafe school environments make them particularly vulnerable. Constant anxiety and stress. Let's take a closer look at the specific challenges these teens face. First, anxiety and depression are prevalent. Research shows that LGBTQ youth experience higher rates of these conditions. During the COVID-19 pandemic, when many were confined at home, those in unsupportive families faced increased stigma and stress. In a major report, nearly all respondents reported trouble sleeping, and over 3/4 felt depressed or hopeless. Even more heartbreaking, only 1/4 of these youth said they always felt safe at school. Turning to substances as an escape. When emotional pain becomes overwhelming, some teens turn to negative coping mechanisms, such as substance abuse. Isolation and bullying at school heighten this risk. Alcohol, tobacco, or other substances may become tools to numb the pain of rejection. Tragically, when these youth need help to break free from such habits, they often receive little support from their families, making recovery even harder. Low self-esteem and feelings of worthlessness. How deeply can negative comments or attitudes, even from family, erode a child's confidence? A survey revealed a striking insight. While over 90% of LGBTQ youth said they were proud of who they are, 70% frequently felt worthless or hopeless. Nearly 70% had heard negative or prejudiced remarks about the LGBTQ community from their own family members. These messages, whether intentional or not, profoundly affect a child's self-esteem and sense of worth. Eating disorders and the search for control. Another less discussed but dangerous coping mechanism is eating disorders. When life feels out of control and external pressures mount, controlling food intake can give teens an illusion of regaining control. Research shows that over half of LGBTQ individuals are diagnosed with an eating disorder at some point in their lives, an alarming statistic that underscores the depth of emotional pain they endure. What can parents do to help? Hearing this, many parents may feel worried or even overwhelmed, but the good news is that you can make a tremendous difference. Your love and acceptance are the most powerful remedies. So, what can you do? First, seek support. Don't bear this alone. Start by talking to trusted individuals who are knowledgeable and open-minded about gender and sexual diversity. Second, connect with organizations or groups of parents who also have LGBTQ children. In Vietnam, communities like PFLAG Vietnam offer a space to share your experiences with others in similar situations, helping you feel understood and less alone. Third, educate yourself using reliable sources like books, articles, or reputable health organization websites. Accurate knowledge will help you dispel misconceptions and better support your child. Finally, if needed, don't hesitate to seek professional help. A trusted, experienced mental health professional can be an invaluable ally, guiding both you and your child through this challenging time. Your child's journey to discovering and accepting their true self may not be smooth. But with your unconditional love and steadfast support, they will find the strength to walk this path with confidence and happiness. Thank you for listening, parents.